And good afternoon and welcome back to RMU Live. I'm Sonu Babu.
And I'm Andrew Ostrowski. Here's your RMU news.
The Mars Area School District will be closed today due to rumors of violence on Tuesday and Wednesday. The school was evacuated due to bomb threats, but they found nothing. The issue is still ongoing. And the Bethel Park School District will also be closing today due to threats of violence. It is unclear if there will be additional security during their varsity football game.
Federal prosecutors are now investigating child sexual abuse by priests in Pennsylvania. Subpoenas were given out last week to 7 of the 8 dioceses in Pennsylvania. It was found just months ago that 301 priests molested over 1,000 children over the last 70 years. Saudi intelligence officer and former diplomat Meir Abdulaziz Mutrib is reported to play a pivotal role in the apparent assassination of Saudi journalist Jamal Khashoggi. Mutrib is one of 15 Saudi men believed to be connected to the disappearance and death of Khashoggi. Investigation continues in the disappearance of the journalist.
Pittsburgh makes history by being the first U.S. city to transplant HIV organs to HIV-positive patients. The HOPE Act organization researches HIV organ transplants and is one of the 20 hospitals in the country testing kidney and liver transplants. Dr. Gadi Hadar, an infectious disease doctor at UPMC, says they are planning on expanding to heart, lung, and pancreas transplants. A vehicle caught on fire in University Boulevard on Thursday. A woman and her son were in the vehicle when they smelled smoke and fled the vehicle. Officials say the fire originated in the engine. No injuries were reported. RMU reporter Gage Golding has more.
Shortly after 10 a.m. on Thursday, emergency officials were dispatched to the intersection of University Boulevard and Moon Clinton Road.
Our dispatch got a report of a car that was on fire.
When police arrived on scene, they say the license plate was entirely burned off a car that was already engulfed in flames. A woman was driving her Ford Fusion when she and her son smelled smoke inside the vehicle. They pulled over into a gravel lot across from the Moon Area High School football stadium.
It's a mechanical issue with the car. I don't know what the issue was.
Officials say that the woman and her son both escaped without injuries.
Washington County criminal attorney Joseph Francis has been accused of sexually assaulting 2 women working at a Marriott hotel in Cleveland. He was arrested and charged with felony gross sexual imposition and is currently free on bond. There will be a bill passed in Pennsylvania that will give more severe penalties to repeat DUI offenders. The bill pertains to those with a 3rd conviction while driving with twice the legal limit of blood alcohol concentration and anyone who has 4 DUI convictions.
PennDOT is paving University Boulevard 10 p.m. today to 6 a.m. on Monday from Moon Clinton Road to Business 376. Yorktown's entrance will be affected.
RMU will no longer be offering the theater major by the English department. It will now be a minor due to the low registration numbers. Current theater majors will be allowed to finish out their degree.
The decision was because of the low number of students who are interested in or registered as theater concentration students, that we would switch or dissolve the major. We would still offer a theater minor. In fact, we're going to revamp the theater minor a little bit. But I think what's pretty intriguing, what we want to do with theater is so that it keeps the vibrant presence that it has on campus. So if that happens, if all these things fall into place, theater, we believe, is still going to have the presence on campus that it does. It will not be a concentration as it currently exists, but we don't think theater is going to certainly disappear from the campus. In fact, we want just the opposite. We want it to remain as alive as it can be. Those who are currently in the program will, for lack of a better phrase, be grandfathered out, meaning they will be allowed to continue as theater students. They'll be allowed to graduate. This change will go into effect for fall 2019. Saying that, if a student showed up this morning and said, you know, I'd like to be a theater student, chances are we'd probably say, hold on, because let's see, you know, what's going to unfold. We're not expecting any delays, but again, the hope is that it will go into effect for fall of 19.
The man accused of killing a Pitt student has pleaded guilty and is sentenced to life in prison without parole. Matthew Darby beat his ex-girlfriend Alina Shaiket to death last October. Darby takes full responsibility of the murder. He attended the pre-trial motion on Wednesday and pleaded guilty to first-degree murder. The district attorney took off the death penalty in exchange for the guilty plea.
A Pennsylvania man received 2 consecutive life sentences after killing 2 people during a robbery. Kylie Langford was sentenced to 2 life sentences in prison on Thursday. He is set to go on trial November 14th. 3 people were found dead in their home in Newcastle. The first suspect, 19-year-old Stephen Procopio, was caught. The second suspect is yet to be found. There were 4 other children at the house at the time of the murder. It was unclear what the motive of the murders are.
3 Florida police officers were sentenced to prison after falsely and intentionally arresting people for burglary. Police Chief Raimundo Atsanciano encouraged the police officers to falsely arrest a teenager in order to keep their burglary clearance rate at 100%. Atsanciano pleaded guilty and is scheduled to be sentenced November 27th.
West Mifflin High School teacher James Horgan pleaded guilty to sexual assault charges in relation to having sex with a student. Horgan will now serve 5 years of sex offender court probation, along with 25 years of Megan's Law registration.
The Wolf administration announced new grant funding to help Pittsburgh conserve natural resources. Keystone Fund invested $200,000 to rehabilitate the Pittsburgh area.
A man who was trapped in a mine shaft for 2 days is now out and safe. The man fell 100 feet down into the shaft about 90 miles northwest of Phoenix. Not only did he go without food and water, but he fought off rattlesnakes until rescuers were able to reach him. Zach Crenshaw reports.
Those are the screams of a man who went 48 hours without food or water and broke multiple bones.
Legs and knee and...
Despite the surrounding signs, 62-year-old father John Waddell was alone when he fell into the 100-foot mine shaft Monday.
The carabiner broke, I guess.
Police initially said it was a good Samaritan that found John in this gold mine shaft, but it was a friend and a pact that ultimately saved his life.
He had called me Monday and told me he was coming to the mine, and always had a deal, well, if he's not back by Tuesday.
John wasn't back. Immediately, his good buddy and neighbor Terry Schrader had a bad feeling.
Since he didn't come home yesterday, I was bound and determined I had to come down today.
Terry's fear was confirmed.
Just as I pulled up in the truck, I could hear him hollering, help, help, you know.
He quickly drove out of the desert to get service.
I did get enough that the deputies were on their way.
The mountain rescue team also came. They hooked up hundreds of feet in rope, created a pulley system, and worked hours to get John out.
I've been around a few rescues, but nothing like this.
Despite the screams,
he's tough.
Just how tough? Well, there were rattlesnakes in the mine.
3 of them he said he killed, I guess.
John now has some broken bones and one crazy story. He also has a really solid friend.
You consider yourself kind of a hero in this story?
No. No.
Waddell was airlifted for treatment of his non-life-threatening injuries.
Still no sign or leads on a missing Wisconsin teenager. The Barron County Sheriff's Department is asking for volunteers to help search for 13-year-old Jamie Kloss. She disappeared Monday morning. Officials believe she is in danger. Investigators say she may have been inside her home when her parents, Denise and James Kloss, were killed. Wednesday, Barron County's sheriff confirmed the teen's parents were killed by gunfire. Their deaths were ruled homicides.
A 5-year-old boy from Massachusetts that went missing 2 years ago has now been found in Florida. The boy was kidnapped by his mother, and his father asked police for help after realizing they were gone. The mother, Christina Hale, will be charged with parental kidnapping.
For all you need to know about news, sports, and arts and entertainment at RMU and around the Pittsburgh region, visit rmucenturymedia.com.
Next, Pittsburgh named one of the best cities for job openings. More on that after the break.
They call me Maxie, but I prefer tripod. I was your above-average four-legged homie, and then wham-bam minivan. Some people pity me. Now that's lame. I still run, fetch, and swim. And the ladies love me. I'm the ultimate wingman. Just don't ask me to high-five.
Here at Robert Morris University, we pride ourselves at the experience that our students gain while they're actively learning in the classroom. Some even come back to share that knowledge with new students.
I never dreamed that I'd be back here. I'm having so much fun. I'm doing a lot of what I was trained to do and what I went to school for.
The Colonial Sports Network is a great opportunity for students to learn real job skills in sports programming.
To be able to see what the students want to make of it, because it can be anything that they want.
I love being here, seeing students, seeing myself in the students that work with me, and I'm really blessed to have so much talent to work with. It's really amazing.
To be able to see students become successful after Robert Morris is really cool.
Join the Colonial Sports Network team and expand your future today.
Hey, let's check out this park. Oh, wow, that's really cool.
To find a great local park or forest near you, go to discovertheforest.org.
Pittsburgh was named the top U.S. city for jobs with 92,000 job openings, according to Glassdoor. Glassdoor determined the rankings based on how easy it is to get a job, as well as how affordable and satisfied the employees are.
A home in Pennsburg, Pennsylvania was found with more than 240 animals in it, including 100 snakes and 5 alligators. The couple that has not been named own another home that was also raided this week.
Fast food has become a major part of what Americans eat on a regular basis, and a new report from the CDC reveals just how much. Reed Bignon has more in today's Health Minute.
Ordering a burger or a bucket of chicken from a fast food restaurant is something we all love to do. Some of us maybe a little too much. According to a new study conducted by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, nearly 85 million U.S. adults consume fast food on a regular basis. One of the authors, Cheryl Fryer, says the role fast food plays in the American diet has not only grown over the years, but has also contributed to health risks like obesity, high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes, and heart disease. The data also showed that people who ate a lot of junk food varied by age, income level, and sex. Of the adults in the study who consumed fast food on any given day, about 45% were between 20 and 39. Nearly 38% were 40 to 59, and more than 24% were 60 and older. According to the report, higher income families ate more fast food than middle or lower income families, and a slightly higher percentage of men said they regularly ate more fast food than women. For today's Health Minute, I'm Reed Bignon.
Learning Links Preschool in Somerset Township has had their state certification revoked after multiple charges endangering children have come forth. The preschool's owner, Terrell Gribble, put melatonin in the children's lunches. Since then, 3 other workers have been charged with endangering the children's and the welfare of children since the incident.
3 more children have been found with the polio-like disease, acute flaccid myelitis. They are currently being treated at UPMC Children's Hospital of Pittsburgh. Acute flaccid myelitis is a rare disease affecting the body, like polio, restricting movement in the arms and legs. There are currently 6 children being treated in Pittsburgh. Over 50 grave sites of veterans' graves at Bethel Cemetery were vandalized this week. The vandalism includes pulling flags from the sites and lighting them on fire.
A deadly shooting occurred in Monroe, Georgia at 9 a.m. on Thursday. A 63-year-old man was shot and killed by a police officer after he was mistaken for carrying a real gun. It turned out to be a replica machine gun. There will be more than 88 police officer shootings in Georgia this year.
A woman from Indiana robbed a sheet store in Breezewood, Pennsylvania. Sarah Miller was able to get out of handcuffs and stole a state police vehicle, hitting 3 other police vehicles and 2 troopers. She was charged with robbery and various other offenses.
U.S. Mega Millions lottery reached $1 billion. It is now the 2nd largest lottery in U.S. history. The drawing will take place on Friday at 11 p.m. and the chances of winning this lottery is 1 in 302,575,350.
Be sure to tune into our other shows, RMU Live Mondays at 1 p.m. and Fridays at noon, Sports Talk in the Berg and RMU Tonight Wednesdays at 5 p.m. and Colonial Sports Center Thursday at 9:30 p.m. here on RMU-TV. When we come back, we'll go to Ryan Giacobbe for sports and Ava Patel for the weather.
These hot ashes are about to be dumped, which could possibly start a wildfire. How will Smokey deal with such a hot situation? The garden hose defense. Next, a thorough stir. Then another spray. And finally, feeling if the ashes are cool.
Oh, yeah.
Ah, yes, the selfie. A ritual practiced so frequently with this tribe, but not so much by Smokey Bear.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
They call me Prince like I'm royalty or something. But the places I've lived ain't no palaces. So I don't need grilled salmon or a new scratching post. Just give me a cardboard box and a can of tuna and we're good. You can even change my name. I'm cool being the kitty formerly known as Prince.
They told me a bottle couldn't dream. That I would never become a superhero. But I learned how to fly. Just to come back in a new disguise. And be the hero that I've always wanted to be.
If you don't fix them, sparks from dragging tow chains could cause a wildfire, and that could be scary. Only you can prevent wildfires.
Welcome back to sports. And now we have an exciting week for sports this week. Now, if you missed it, the MLB playoffs are nearing the conclusion of the League Championship Series. The Boston Red Sox defeated the Houston Astros last night 4-1 to advance to the World Series, and are waiting on the Los Angeles Dodgers-Milwaukee Brewers series in Game 6 of the NLCS tonight against the Brewers at 8:39 p.m. to determine their opponent in the World Series. The Pittsburgh Penguins shut out the Toronto Maple Leafs last night 3-0. Goaltender Matt Murray made 38 saves in his first game back from a concussion. Evgeny Malkin scored 2 goals, and Chris Letang scored the other goal. And the Pens continue the road trip Tuesday night at 9 p.m. against the Edmonton Oilers. The Pittsburgh Steelers are on their bye week this week and will be hoping to avoid another tie next week on the 28th at 1 p.m. when they host the Cleveland Browns. Moving over to RMU. RMU football will attempt to break its 4-game losing skid when they host the first ever matchup against the Central State Marauders at noon on Saturday after dropping their rivalry game against Duquesne last Saturday 48-24. After splitting a home-and-home set with Bowling Green last weekend, the Colonials men's hockey team is set to start Atlantic Hockey Conference play at home this weekend against Army for 2 games. Now the women's hockey team is set to start play against College Hockey America opponents after splitting last weekend's series against RPI, starting with traveling to face Mercyhurst tonight at 6 p.m. and again tomorrow at 3 p.m. The volleyball team is set to face off in the heart of the NEC season when not 1, but 2 teams come to Moon Township this weekend. The first team RMU faces are the Blue Devils of Central Connecticut later tonight at 7 p.m. And the second team are the Bulldogs of Bryant when they come tomorrow at 5 p.m. for a good chance to catch up in the Northeast Conference. The men's soccer team is looking to gain some steam in the Northeast Conference when they host LIU Brooklyn today at 3 p.m. and against Central Connecticut at 1 p.m. on Sunday. Army currently stands at 2-2, tied for 5th in the NEC with St. Francis Brooklyn. The women's soccer team is in the final stretch of their regular season. The last 3 games of the regular season starts with the Bryant University Bulldogs, facing them on the road today at 3 p.m. Now for a brand new area, RMU men's basketball. Yes, their season is right around the corner, and they are set for an exhibition game on Sunday when they visit the Kent State Golden Flash at 12 p.m. The Colonials finished last season 16-17 overall with a 9-9 record in the NAC. And now let's go to the impeccable Avon, our weatherman, for this week's weather.
Wow, I love that energy out there, Ryan. Thank you so much. All right, we got today's forecast at 60 at high and a low of 43. The chance of rain at 20% and humidity at 67%. Let's take a look at a 5-day forecast right now and see what's going on. As you can see there, Sunday we're going to have 46 at high and a low of 34. Monday is going to be a little rainy out there because it's fall out there, but rain will fall down. At the high of 56 and a low of 44, Tuesday is going to be a partial cloudy with 56 and 38. Wednesday is going to be 51 and 32. And Thursday will be a high of 52 and 35 with the partially cloudy. Now, we're going to send it back to the desk to end this beautiful broadcast here.
And that's all we have for today. Thank you for watching RMU Live.
We will see you next week.